Hi, Michael. How you doing?
How are you, Adam?
Very good, thank you. Yeah, not too bad. Great to have you on the call as usual. And we thought we would do this just to introduce you to the UK and introduce, I guess, the high level plans for worldwide growth for eXp.
Sure.
So, do you want to just say hi to everybody? Give us a sort of a minute or two, introduction.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's really a pleasure just to be speaking with you today. And yeah, as you said, it was, so I'm the Executive Vice President for International Expansion for eXp. Prior to that, I was Senior Vice President of Realogy, which is not a consumer-facing brand, but several of the brands that they own are, all of them are, which is Sotheby's International Realty, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, ERA, Better Homes and Garden, and Corcoran. And in fact, I have a very soft spot in my heart for the UK and London in particular, because I lived there for many years when I was working for Sotheby's and was in charge of the EMEA expansion for the Sotheby's brand throughout Europe, Middle East, India, and Africa, and lived in London for many years and have very fond memories and dear friends there. So the UK still has a very special place in my heart.
Wow, that's amazing. We've worked together for it's only a few weeks now. When did you start with EXP? It's probably
2.5 months.
Wow, okay, time flies.
Yeah, it does. I just make it feel like 2 weeks, Adam.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's right. So I've sort of got to know you quite well, and you've got some big plans. Tell us a bit about those.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea, this is such an amazing model. When you start thinking about what the eXp model is, first of all, I was with Realogy for 15 years. And for me to do a move, I'm pretty much of a lifer. I'm loyal to my brand. So I was with Realogy for 15 years and with Deutsche Bank for 10 years prior to that. So I came from a banking background before I jumped into real estate. And so I said, whatever I was going to next was going to be my last job. And so eXp was really the choice. And it was the choice when I did a lot of investigation and a lot of due diligence. And I spent about 6 months talking to Glenn Sanford, the founder of eXp, and Jason Gessing, our CEO, and really spending the time and understanding what the model was, and then understanding how that would translate globally. Obviously, I knew you were in the UK and Australia and Canada, but really we were talking about aggressive growth. And when you start thinking about the opportunity for an agent to really become a brand and be given a global brand without a franchise fee, without a royalty fee, and being able to grow their own business as though they were the brand, having the power of an eXp, which is a global brand behind them, without that initial investment, to me was a game changer in our industry. When you start thinking about the possibility of not even having the larger usually commission splits than what we would look at normally in most countries outside of the United States, when you start looking at a commission split and the ability to get to that 99 or 100%, that's amazing. And that's a really different model than anything that exists. And when you start looking at then the ability to come in and participate with shares of a publicly traded company on NASDAQ based on your performance, and then you bring in the possibility of being able to grow your own revenue line on top of that, that model is just untouchable in my opinion. In my opinion, we are going to be the largest real estate global company on the planet. And that is the only thing that I am focused on right now. So the idea of introducing eXp, for me, it has to be strategic. You need to start building on what has been the story that's been built in the United States as the fastest growing real estate company in America, 80% growth last year. The fact that we're now over $1 billion market cap, 1.2 billion to be exact, carries no debt. It is a great story to tell when we're living in a world of a post-COVID environment. And we start looking at our technology like Verbella, that's not been around as a solution over the last couple of years, but it's been around for 10 years. It's a proven technology. Everything is really the perfect storm is the way I see it.
Yeah, I agree. I think I did a lot of, I did 4 months of looking under the bonnet, as they say, in January 2019, before, you know, we sort of pressed the button on the UK, and all of those things excited me as well. Yeah, you know,
Right.
it was, I suppose bringing it back to the UK, and obviously we're here to talk about the global growth and what does that opportunity look like. Just bringing it back to the UK and your experience of the UK, how does that, how, you know, obviously we've been going for eight and a half months since our official launch. I'll get told off
Sure.
if I don't say that. But how's that translated into the UK? I mean, the
I mean,
fundamentals of the commission split and the stock and the shares is the same, isn't it? Really, I guess.
but just think about the UK market, where, you know, historically it's a market where the estate agents are paid a stipend, and they are given a small percentage of the deal upon closing. And you think, you know, you have some very, very talented estate agents in the UK area. I remember dear friends of mine in London, in that market that is so ultra competitive. But when you start thinking about a market where you have a very small commission rate just to begin with, that's what the market participates in. And when you start now saying to an agent, okay, you know, you really have gone out there and proven yourself, and you believe in yourself, and now I'm giving you the opportunity to go and work for yourself and actually go and earn a very large income compared to what they were earning. And it's an incredible opportunity to come in and say to somebody, I'm going to go back you as a brand. I'm going to go back as a brand and start giving you a global footprint as I start building it. And so when we start thinking about this on a macro level, you know, it's important to fill in a lot of Central Europe. It's really interesting for me to start filling in that manner. I'm looking at doing regional hubs. I'm looking at doing an EMEA hub as we start filling in other countries, a hub in Asia Pacific to cover what our expansion is going to be into those areas, and then a hub into what would I call the CALA region, Caribbean, Latin America, including South America and Mexico. Those are the three major hubs that I see, because there's going to be a lot of consolidation of what was going to be our back office, and what we can provide from there. We're bringing in some third-party technology companies that are going to come in and help with our globalization, our language translation, our multi-currency, multi-measurement, the ability to make our global website truly global. The idea of coming in and having another company integrate with what our back office will be, so that we can have that swift integration into the US back office operation, so that we are a seamless company around the globe. All those things are happening behind the scenes and happening quite swiftly.
Wow, yeah, amazing. And it's amazing how quickly, I mean, just before when I first started a year ago, the Verbella platform, which you've mentioned already, which people that are watching this might know as our virtual world, the eXp world. I mean, the improvements in the last year is just, I mean, you know, unbelievable. The steps that have been taken, the leaps that have been taken to improve that platform, and that they continue to do so. And we own that. I mean, that's
Yep.
really exciting, isn't it?
And it's also the idea that going into so many other industries, it is not just the real estate industry. So eXp Realty owns Verbella 100%, but Verbella platform has so many adaptable industries that want this with us. You know, they just did a deal with HTC, which was very publicly stated about a month ago. And that actually caused the stock to go up 100% in the last 3 weeks. And so that has been a very, very exciting deal to see what's going on. And, you know, there's Alex Howland, who is the founder of Verbella. He's actually on the cover of Entrepreneur magazine this month as one of the faces that's going to change technology and industries. And so, you know, when you're starting to look at everyone looking at us because of the technology, it's really quite exciting. You know, we're still in our infancy. We're still only in 3 countries around the world. And so this is what's so exciting, is that we're still in the forefront of what our growth is. And it's so exciting to see that.
And every single agent that joins eXp benefits from that by being a co-owner, shareholder with me, with you, with Glenn, with Jason, with you know, every other agent in the world that joins and sells houses for eXp. So
They become
quite
part of the
amazing.
story, right?
Yeah,
They become
exactly. Yeah,
part of that growth. And it's the whole idea, you know, you and I were even sort of talking, and you're going through some of the contacts that you had. And, you know, there's possibilities of expansion through your contacts that are very, very real that we're looking at. And that's the power that everyone that joins this brand has. It's the ability to not only be able to have a much better split historically, especially if we're talking the UK, of their own core business, but the ability to be able to not only recruit within their own sphere of influence locally, but to think globally, to think about if they had an agent in the States, the fact that they can suggest and recruit anyone in the United States, and that's part of their downline sitting in the UK. If they know somebody else in Europe that might be an interesting thing for us to look at, you know how open I am to talking about discussions. And what I wanted to do is to look at where opportunities exist, where critical mass would exist for the brand and the opportunities there. And that's how we've been looking at this global expansion. And we've been very, very busy, as you know. So we're in conversations with no less than 20 countries, 5 on a very short list. And so we're going to have some major announcements here in a very short period of time.
wow. So what you're saying is, if somebody in the UK, and again, this is going to go mainly to the UK audience, but I'm sure it'll get picked up
Sure.
further afield with your name attached to it, Michael.
I don't know about that.
But so if someone in the UK has a contact in another country in Europe, then they have an opportunity to essentially help launch eXp in that country, or will be part of the story, I guess. What's the
So, you know, as I said, I'm looking at key countries first as we continue to unfold this story. And I think that there is a lot that can be done here because literally the whole world is open. And I think it's important to look at how we grow this brand now outside of the United States. And based on the successes that we've had thus far, the idea of what you've done in the last 8 months, Adam, has been amazing in the United Kingdom, and how our growth has been so exponential there and continues to do so. And so when we start looking at what's there, if there are other opportunities in Europe, we're looking for what's going to make us be able to have some sort of market share in a new country, to be able to see where that collaboration can exist with where we are now in the United Kingdom, and be able to say what makes sense for the United Kingdom for us to open up next. And so that there's some collaborative growth growing in. So I really want to see this in a story that unfolds naturally and quite organically.
Yeah, yeah. So essentially what we're saying is that people, if they know someone in other countries, they could benefit from potentially those agents being within that country should eXp decide to venture in there, which I dare say from what you're saying, eventually we will do. We're going to go for that. Every country, like you say, the whole world is open, as you said.
The whole world is open.
Very
the
exciting.
Whole world is open.
Good stuff. So just on a last point, Michael, because I want to keep this down to 10 minutes so we can fit the whole video on LinkedIn. We don't want to have to. Any sort of final message, I guess, for people watching this?
You know, the message is that this is an incredibly exciting brand. When you have somebody, for example, take me. It took 15 years where I was, and 10 years prior to that, and I say to people, this is my last job. This is something where I am going to be here. I believe in this brand tremendously. I believe in the business model. I believe in the growth that we're doing here. And it is the most exciting time to be with this brand. When you start looking at everything it has to offer, when you start looking at the possibility of coming in and expanding on a global scale, that's the exciting part of the story. I invite anyone who is thinking about eXp to reach out to you in the United Kingdom, to reach out to me if they'd like to. I'm very reachable, to be able to discuss the story and any thoughts that they had or any questions that they have on eXp. I am very, very open to telling them why I joined and why I think they should.
And I think that's a great point to finish on. The people, the team that is being built with, yourself and the new CMO and various other people that are joining the countries we're talking to, the people within those countries that we're talking to, it all adds to that story, doesn't it? I mean, it's incredible so far.
It really does. There's some exciting news that's going to be coming out in the next couple of months, and it's a great opportunity for everyone to be a part of that story.
Brilliant, Michael. Appreciate your time as always, and
thank you, my friend.
Cheers.
All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.